So, some very exciting news this morning for savers. There is a bonkers 10% account available right now, which is really surprising because the base rate has just been cut at the time of recording this, and we're seeing rates everywhere drop. So, I wanted to tell you about this one straight away, not wait until later in the week when I'm going to do a savings update. Tell you all about it so you can take advantage of it because there is a bit of a deadline on this one as well. Not an urgent one, but the sooner the better if you really want to maximize the interest you get on it. So 10% sounds amazing, right? There must be a catch. And well, it's not a catch if you understand how regular savers work. This is a regular saver. But if you don't understand regular savers, you might be thinking, hang on a minute. But before we look at the account itself, which is a quick kind of summary again, regular savers, for those of you who don't know. A regular saver is, as the name suggests, sometimes they call it a monthly saver, some call it a regular saver. The idea is you save on a regular basis. You're putting money aside month by month. And normally these run for a year, for 12 months. So you're saying, I'm going to put aside money. Sometimes you're told exactly how much you have to put aside. You have to put something. Sometimes you don't have to put anything. And often normally there's a range between X and Y you can put into it. And you earn the money on the account when it's in the account, right? So you've got a year you're putting money in. So at the end of the year, let's say the maximum you can put in is £250 a month. That means it's £3,000 in total in the account at the end of the year. Some people look at the savings rate, and in this example, 10%, they might go, well, 10% of £3,000 is £300. So I should have £300 interest at the end. But you've got to remember, your money isn't in there. That £3,000 isn't in there for the whole year. Some of it is only in there for 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. So that brings the balance down. But that is not a scam. That is not a problem because you're still, while the money is in the account, getting the best possible rate you can out there with this 10%. But other regular savers, I talk about them a lot as well because they also pay generally some quite good rates, 6%, 7%, even 8% in this year at times. So they are still good things. But that's regular savers. Let's look at this particular one. And this is from Virgin Money. It's the Virgin Money regular saver. The gross rate is 10%, which means that the actual AER, how you use it to compare exactly what you might get over a year, is 10.38%. Now, I said some accounts have a minimum, some have a max. They all have a maximum. The minimum here is nothing. If you don't want to put anything in a month, you don't have to. If you do want to add money in, the max you can add and earn interest is 250 quid. You can actually, unlike other regular savers, add more money to this account if you want to, but you will not earn any interest on that. Something that's also not that common with regular savers. This one is actually particularly flexible in lots of different ways. This one, if you don't put the maximum amount in 1 month, you can carry it over. So let's say you're a bit short on cash and you only put 100 quid in rather than the full 250, but next month you've got a bit more coming through. Well, the next month you could put in 400. Obviously that's less time it's in the account to earn the interest, but still ultimately you'll be getting that higher rate as you go along. The interest is paid on a quarterly basis. So at the end of September, the end of December, the end of March, and the end of June. So you'll get it all those times. So obviously, really, if you're opening it up now, that means the final payment you're going to get will be in September of 2026. Now, this is the important bit. This is where this one is slightly different to other regular savers. If you open it now at the start of August, this is why I want to get this video out really quickly, tell you about it straight away, is that this is going to close on the 31st of July 2025. Now, I'm recording this on the 2nd of August 2024, which means if you open it now, you're going to get roughly the full 12 months. Now, we don't know when this is going to close. It could close at any time for new applications. But fundamentally, if you are opening it up in September or in October or November, then obviously your total, that AER, isn't quite going to ring true because the money won't have been in there for that full 12 months in total. So it will come down. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. If you watch this later on and you are still available, still worth opening it to get that top rate. But you've got to remember the calculations wise in your head, trying to work out it will be lower than it is. Importantly here as well, you can make withdrawals. Again, not all regular savers allow you to do this to make withdrawals. But this one you can. But I've put a query into Virgin Money on this just to check whether if you make a withdrawal, whether that resets your allowance. I don't think it will. There's nothing in the terms and conditions that say you can, but I just wanted to double check on it. So I pretty much think if, let's say you put in 250 quid into a month, full amount, you take £100 out, I don't think that means you can add another 100 quid back in to bring up that 250. I think it's about that initial deposit as you go along. So good, you can make withdrawals if you need it, but I wouldn't want you to treat it like an easy access account because you're going to be missing out on the options. It's more about, ideally, you're putting this away for something in 12 months' time, but if you need to access it in an emergency, then you can. Which brings us on to the big requirement here. This, like all the top paying regular savers, does require you to have a current account with the bank. It can be any of their current accounts, and there are free ones you can get. It doesn't have to be one of the paid premium ones. It can be a free one, but you will have to either already have one or open it up. Now, if you don't already have one, it's just worth reminding you that there will be a credit check when you open up the new account, a hard credit check. Now, most of the time that's not going to be a problem, but if you do have something like a remortgage application or remortgaging coming, or you're really important credit card balance transfer credit card, something like that, although bizarrely, if you've got credit card debts and you're looking to save money, you're better off putting that money into the credit card. But you know what I'm saying? If you've got an important credit application coming along, then you might want to think about this twice. But that's what you need to do. So how much money could you make? 10% sounds great, but it gets a bit complicated. So just a quick analysis here of the different amounts of money you can put in potentially, assuming start of August for 12 months until the account closes on the 31st of July 2025. Remember, if you start it later, these figures will come down accordingly depending on when you open the account. And the interest is calculated daily, by the way. So even if the middle of the month, you'll earn less than if it was at the start of the month. So let's say you put the maximum amount in, 250 quid every single month at the start of the month. After a year, you will earn £166 interest. Now, to give you some sort of comparison here, if you had a savings account, a fixed account, say, paying 5%, and there are still some of those around for a year, you would need around £3,200 to get a similar amount, a little bit more than that, to get a similar amount after a year. And that is not too different to the £3,000 you'd have put into this account to get that rate at the end. So you might think, what's the faff? You know, if I've got this money now, I'll just put it in the fix, not have to faff about it every single month doing it. And that is absolutely true. If you've got a lump sum that you're trying to put away and you can get around 5%, then you should be doing that, right? That, and you don't need to access the money at all. That will be much easier. But again, remember, this is about a regular saver. New money you're putting into savings every single month. That's where these come into play. Next down, £100, say, that would earn you £66 of interest over the year. So not getting huge amounts then. When you look at the actual monetary value, it's not as much as the 10% sounds. And if we go down to 25 quid a month, then only £17 interest at the end of the year. So, you know, again, whether it's worth opening up this account really depends on how much you're going to be putting away every single month, I think, if you don't already have a Virgin Money current account. If you have a Virgin Money current account, then this, I think, is a great place to put your money. Even if it's a small amount, these small amounts do add up. And once you've got it set up, you can have a standing order moving the money across from your account. It's all automated. You don't have to faff around with it at all. It's all really simple. There are no other requirements for the current account or for this savings account. But smaller amounts, maybe you're better off sticking with a bank you've already got. Or if you do want to open up a different account, which has a hard credit check, you might want to look at different incentives, different offers that might get you more in total, such as the switching deals that I share with you guys on a regular basis, or ones which might have freebies and interest accounts, all those kind of things combined. So this is not a no-brainer for everyone, but I certainly think it's exciting to see this. And I will be updating you guys very soon with all the rates that are falling. So let's get this nice good bit of news out of the way, and then I will give you an update with the best accounts in August and updates on which ones are falling later this week. My name's Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Check out these videos here for more ways to make the most of your money.